For years now, there's been a narrative around the Vancouver Canucks, a story of dysfunction that has frustrated one of the most passionate fan bases in the entire league. Now, the story has a brutal headline. Player agents, the people who represent NHL talent, have weighed in. In an anonymous poll conducted by The Athletic, they've branded the Vancouver Canucks as the worst run organization in the entire league. This isn't just an angry tweet or a critical column. It's a damning judgment from the insiders who negotiate the deals and see exactly how things are run, of course, behind the scenes. Now, out of 22 agents who voted on the worst franchise, a staggering 7 pointed the finger at Vancouver. It was a clear vote of no confidence. One agent actually didn't mince his words, stating simply, "They're a mess." This isn't just about a bad season. It points to a deep-seated breakdown of trust in the franchise's direction and leadership. So how did it get this bad? How does a team in a premier Canadian hockey market end up with this embarrassing label? Today, we'll break down the scathing poll results and the years of chaos that led to this moment. Now, let's dig into the specifics of this poll because the details are even more revealing. The 7 votes for Vancouver gave them the undesirable top spot by a significant margin. Now, the closest team, or the next closest team, was the New York Rangers, and I'll bring it up right here just so you guys can see, who received only 4 votes. In the eyes of nearly a third of the agents polled, the Canucks are in a class of their own up there at the top. The anonymous comments paint a picture of an organization in complete disarray. One agent said, "I don't know what their plan is." One agent complained, a sentiment that has been echoed by frustrated fans for years. Another pointed to the constant off-ice issues, noting it just seems there's a lot of soap opera stuff going on around there. I just think management needs to do a better job of keeping things in-house. That soap opera label has haunted this team, from public disagreements between players, PD and Miller, to the clumsy and drawn-out firing of former coach Bruce Boudreau in 2023. And now it's clear the rest of the league has completely taken notice of this. As if being named the worst run club wasn't enough, the poll delivered a second gut punch. Agents also voted the Canucks as the second hardest front office to deal with in the NHL, trailing only just the Anaheim Ducks. One agent described negotiating with the team as dealing with a total lack of cohesion, stating, "No alignment with what's happening in the organization, just a discombobulation." While he noted they are good people, nice guys, he explained that the lack of a clear strategy makes doing business with them incredibly difficult. This is where the poll results become truly damaging. When agents see a front office as directionless, it directly impacts their willingness to steer their clients there. As one agent bluntly said, "How do you sell players on an organization where you can't get a grasp of what they're actually trying to do?" That can lead to having to overpay to attract free agents, which only complicates roster management down the line. This verdict comes more than 4 years into the tenure of President of Hockey Ops Jim Rutherford and General Manager Patrick Allvin, making it clear this isn't just about the problems they inherited, it's a reflection on the current state of affairs. Obviously, I think this more has to do with Francesco Aquilini, at least in my opinion, more so than it does Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin. Now, this reputation obviously wasn't built overnight. It's a result of decades of crushing and disappointment and, of course, questionable decisions. Now, the Canucks entered the league in, of course, 1970 and hold the unfortunate distinction of being one of the oldest franchises to have never won a Stanley Cup. The team's history is a painful cycle of hope and, of course, heartbreak. They've made 3 trips to the Stanley Cup final and come away empty-handed each time. In 1982, a Cinderella run ended in a sweep by the dynastic New York Islanders. In 94, heroes like Linden and Pavel Bure led them to a heartbreaking Game 7 loss against the New York Rangers. And painfully, of course, in 2011, After they won the President's Trophy as the league's best team, they again lost in Game 7 of the final, this time on home ice to the Boston Bruins. Between those peaks were long stretches of mediocrity. Following the Sedin Twins' era of brilliance, which still couldn't capture the final prize, the team absolutely spiraled. This brings us to the present situation after a surprising division win in the 23-24 season. The 25-26 season has been a catastrophic failure. The team has plummeted to the bottom of the league in the standings, a collapse that reinforces every negative perception about the franchise's instability. This long, winding road of mismanagement provides the context for the agent poll. The soap opera didn't just start with this front office, it's the latest act in a long-running tragedy. It's a frustrating history, and I'm sure every fan has their own, what if moment. What if the 94 run ended differently? What if the 2011 team had closed it out in Game 7? Let me know your biggest Canucks what if in the comments below. And if you're finding this breakdown, of course, insightful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the state of hockey and state of the Canucks for that matter. Now, while the franchise's history provides the backdrop, the current front office of Rutherford and Alvin owns this specific failure, as does Aquilini. They were brought in to provide a clear direction. 4 years later, powerful agents are openly wondering if there's, any plan at all. The soap opera stuff an agent mentioned isn't just talk. We all saw the mishandling of Bruce Boudreau's dismissal in 2023, a slow and public process widely condemned as disrespectful to the veteran coach. You guys know my feelings towards that. I absolutely love Bruce, and I do think that the way that was handled was, pure crap. And Boudreau did not deserve that one bit. And you saw how this fan base absolutely adored and loved Boudreau. I mean, come on, Bruce, there it is. That didn't just they didn't just chant that because it was catchy. They absolutely loved Bruce Boudreau, and we all know Bruce Boudreau loved his time here, despite how it ended. Now, we've seen reports of friction between star players that we mentioned that a well-run organization would handle behind closed doors. Instead, the Canucks' internal issues often spill into the public view, feeding the narrative of an organization with absolutely no alignment whatsoever. That agent's quote about discombobulation is perhaps the most fitting word to describe the last 4 years. There's a persistent feeling of one step forward, 2 steps back. A successful 2023-24 season was followed by a complete collapse. The vision remains murky at best. Are they rebuilding? Are they retooling? Is it a hybrid retool contending? The confusion is felt across the entire league, making it hard for agents to sell players on a move to Vancouver when they have no idea what the team is trying to build. Ultimately, a front office is judged on its ability to build a consistent winner and a healthy culture. Now, after 4 years, this regime has delivered a team at the bottom of the standings and has now been publicly branded as the most dysfunctional and difficult to deal with in the entire NHL. Agents have delivered the verdict. It is absolutely scathing. So there you have it. The anonymous poll from The Athletic is more than just bad review. In my eyes, it's a public humiliation. It's a declaration from the NHL insiders that they believe the franchise is fundamentally broken. Now, for many fans, this is a simple confirmation of what they've felt for years, known for years, that the organization is plagued by a lack of vision and constant internal drama that leads to absolutely nowhere, from the heartbreak of 3 Stanley Cup final losses to the embarrassment of being voted the league's worst run team. It has to be a brutal fall. The agent's words says it all. Like we mentioned before, they're a mess with no plan and no alignment whatsoever. This validates the immense frustration of a fan base that has endured decades of mismanagement and the feeling of being stuck. So the ultimate question for fans and ownership is this: after 4 years of this management and a damning verdict from the rest of the league, how much longer can this go on? Like, seriously, let me know your thoughts down below. And of course, thanks for watching. On your way out, like the video and subscribe to the Line Change for more Canucks content as well as draft content as we get closer and closer to the draft. I'll catch you guys in the next video.